I swore I'd never tell anyone, but time's running out. So if you found this recording, listen carefully. Because maybe, just maybe, there's still time to escape. I've got 6 days left. Maybe less. And no, this isn't some kind of creepypasta challenge or viral prank. I'm not here to entertain you. Honestly, I wish you'd just shut this off right now. Because if you keep listening, some part of me believes this thing might spread. But I have to speak. I need to document it. Because ever since I watched that video, nothing feels real anymore. Not time. Not space. Not even what I see when I close my eyes. It all started on a random night like so many others. I'm the kind of person who gets lost in the dark corners of the internet. Untitled videos, comments in dead languages, abandoned channels with 0 subscribers. I dig through what shouldn't exist, not out of bravery, but addiction. That night wasn't any different. I was restless, exhausted, alone, mindlessly clicking through clips. Disturbing videos, bizarre edits, encrypted messages that looked like sad jokes made by bored people. But then, something caught my eye. A pinned comment under some random upload. Read, "If you're really looking, go deeper. It finds those who deserve to see." No link, no username, just those words. I clicked the profile, channel didn't exist. But then my feed changed. A new video appeared. No title, no thumbnail. Runtime, 1 minute and 44 seconds. I clicked. Nothing happened. Just a black screen. Only one button, watch now. And for some reason I can't explain. I clicked again. That's when it all began. The page flickered for a split second. My headphones popped, like they'd blown out. But they didn't. If anything, the sound became too clear. Terrifyingly real. The video started with static, but it wasn't ordinary static. It felt alive. Then came the images. Choppy, shaky, out of sequence. A forest at night. Trees twisted through a cracked lens. A shadow in the bottom left corner, watching me. The footage jumped erratically from place to place. An empty bedroom. A TV turned on to a dead channel. A child, facing away, whispering under their breath. I turned up the volume. The words were backwards. English but reversed. And even though I couldn't understand it, I felt it, like some part of me already knew. Then came the sound. A low, guttural frequency, almost subsonic. Not the kind you hear, but the kind you feel. My throat tightened. My stomach turned. Sweat beaded on my skin. And for a moment, I swear my headphones whispered my name. Then came the final image, the worst one. A figure standing in the middle of a road, completely still, far away, and yet I could see its eyes. Pitch black. No pupils. No light. Just 2 empty voids. Like they were openings to a place that shouldn't exist. The video ended with a glitch. The screen went black. And for a second, I saw my reflection in it, but it wasn't quite my face. I closed the tab, went back to my history. The video was gone, like it never existed. But I saw it. I felt it. And I could still hear that low hum echoing somewhere deep in the back of my skull. That night I slept with the lights on, but I didn't really sleep, because even with my headphones unplugged, I kept hearing whispers. The next morning, everything looked normal, but something was off. You know that feeling when you wake up, and know something was watching you while you slept? No marks, no sounds, but there's a residue, like a strange smell lingering in the air, one you can't quite name. That's how the day began. I opened my browser trying to find the video again. Scrolled through my history, nothing. Checked the comments on that old channel. They were gone too. The video didn't exist anymore. But I knew I'd watched it. My body still remembered. That deep sound. The figure's face. That reflection that wasn't mine. They were burned into my mind. Like an old photograph left in the sun, warped, but impossible to erase. Then I started noticing things. Small things at first. My monitor would flicker, for just a fraction of a second. Like it was breathing. My computer made a soft metallic click, like a file opening on its own, but nothing ever showed up. The first time I heard the whispers during the day was on the subway, not through headphones, but right behind me, at the base of my neck. Someone whispered my name. I turned around. The train car was nearly empty. A child stood at the far end of the aisle, staring at me. She didn't say a word, just watched. Then the train stopped, and she vanished between the doors. I started recording myself while I slept, just to be sure, to make sure nothing was touching me in the night. On the third night of recording, at exactly 3:33 a.m., I heard 3 soft knocks in the background, like someone knocking from inside the closet. I watched the footage over and over. The camera didn't show anything, but the sound was crystal clear. 3 knocks, evenly spaced, perfectly timed. By the 4th day I started seeing the figure, in reflections, in window glass, in the lens of my phone camera. It never moved, never attacked, just watched. But each day, it felt closer, one step nearer, every time. I told a friend, Julia. She's also into weird, obscure videos. I played her the audio from the knocking. She laughed, said it sounded like something out of a creepypasta. But I saw the fear in her eyes. She recognized something she tried to hide. So I did something stupid. I made her watch a short clip I had saved. Just 5 seconds I'd managed to screen record, right when the original video distorted. Only 5 seconds. That's all it took. Later that same night, she called me at 2 a.m., said her headphones were buzzing, said there was a shadow standing in the corner of her room, said her TV turned on by itself. Black screen, white text, backwards. 6 days left. The same number appeared in my bathroom mirror that morning. That's when it hit me. It's not the video. It's a curse. And it spreads. I woke up at 3:33 a.m. Again. No alarm. No noise. I just woke up, heart pounding, with the sick feeling that someone had just left my room. The clock on my nightstand was blinking. The power had gone out or been cut. But that's not what bothered me. It was the smell. Something burned, like melted plastic. And then a whisper, as if an earbud had been jammed straight into my skull. I got up, shaking, and walked to the bathroom. The mirror was completely fogged up, even though the shower hadn't been used. I traced the word hello with my finger, and for a split second, I swear, a message appeared from behind the glass. 5 days left. I stumbled back, gasping for air. I called Julia. No answer. Texted her. Nothing. But the worst part hadn't happened yet. On impulse, I opened YouTube. Went to the recommended tab. There was a channel I'd never seen before. Username, no.sound.only.silence. No videos. No profile picture. No description. But when I clicked on it, for just a moment, my own face showed up as the profile image. Then it vanished. I shut off the Wi-Fi, ripped the router cable from the wall. But the sound kept going. Through the headphones, through the speakers, through the walls. Like the sound was no longer coming from a device, but from inside the house. I got a notification on my phone. New message from Julia. 2:12 a.m. I saw him. He's here. Standing in my living room. He doesn't move, but I know he will. I know. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. I grabbed my keys and drove to her apartment. The door was unlocked. Every light was on. But the place was empty. Completely empty. Except for one thing that chilled me to the bone. In the living room, her TV was on. And on the screen was the final image from the video. The figure standing still. Jet black eyes. Staring straight ahead. But this time when I looked closer, he was closer than before. Like he was advancing. Day by day. Person to person. On Julia's table there was a notebook. She always wrote when she was anxious. I flipped through the pages in a panic, until I found a note. What if it's not just a video? What if it's a digital presence? Something that lives in the spaces between the internet. Something that just needs to be seen, to stay alive. I closed the notebook with shaking hands, because in that moment, I realized what Julia might have already understood. This video doesn't just get watched. It watches you back. On the drive home, every radio station in the car glitched out at once. Heavy static, just like the video. And through the noise, a faint voice, so quiet I almost missed it, whispered, 4 days left. I got home at dawn. All the windows were open. I never leave the windows open. But the air inside was still heavy. Like the house had been holding its breath the entire time I was gone. I went straight to my computer. My plan was simple. Trace the video. Use cached pages. Old forums. Source code. I had to understand what this thing was. The first strange thing? My browser wouldn't open regular YouTube anymore. Every attempt redirected me to some bizarre domain. The layout looked the same, but something was off. The thumbnails were distorted. Some had no images at all. Others looked like stills from security cameras. In one of them, I swear I saw my own bedroom. I shut everything down immediately. But that's when I realized, the video doesn't stay on one channel. It moves. It changes addresses, switches thumbnails, changes titles. Each person finds it differently. Each trap is customized. I remembered this old thread from a dead forum called the Hollow Web. Some users were discussing things like videos that leave no trace, entities encoded in metadata, and something they called the digital parasite. According to them, it was a theory about entities born from human content, fed by collective fear. And in rare cases, these entities discover the perfect format, a vessel that lets them replicate a video, a channel, a song, a line of code. I kept reading the posts. Most ended abruptly. Deleted accounts. Messages cut off mid-sentence. But one stuck with me. If you found this thread, you've already seen part of it. The video searches for open minds, curious ones, lonely ones. Don't try to delete it. Don't try to warn anyone. The only way to survive is to pass it on. But the price is one life for another. That last line hit me like a punch to the gut. Transfer. I'd heard something like that before. I went back to Julia's notebook. There was an envelope taped inside the back cover. Inside, a torn piece of paper. One sentence written in shaky handwriting. It doesn't kill you. You do. It only watches. The pen trailed off on the last letter. Like she'd been interrupted. Or maybe, like she knew she would be. That night, I dreamed of it for the first time. Not as a video, but as a presence. In the dream, I was standing in a dark room. An old television sat in the center, flickering. No sound. No picture. But from the screen, I could hear breathing. Slow. Rhythmic. Like something was waiting. I woke up drenched in sweat, and the TV in my living room was on. No sound. No image. Exactly like in the dream. And that's when I finally understood. This video isn't just on the internet. It's inside me now. And maybe, just maybe, it's inside you too. Today is the 7th day. Or at least, I think it is. Time doesn't work the way it used to. Every clock in the house stopped at 3:33 a.m. All of them. Even the microwave. Even my phone. The sun didn't rise properly today. The sky was washed out. Colorless. Directionless. No sound. No birds. No cars on the street. Just silence. And the whispers. Always the whispers. They never stop anymore. They're not just in my headphones. Now, they're in the walls. In the glass. In my skin. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this, but I have to finish the recording. I need to leave something behind. The figure, the one from the video. It visits me every night now. It never comes in. Just stands at the door. Closer every time. The first night it was on the sidewalk. Second night by the gate. Fifth night in the hallway. Last night was in the room. Still. Unblinking. Not even breathing. But I knew it was alive. Today it's gone. I haven't seen it since I woke up. And that scares me more than seeing it. Because now, it's behind me. I can feel it. I started this recording to try and warn you. But deep down, I know it's pointless. The video wants to be seen. It wants you to look for it. It wants you to think about it. And once you do, it finds you. That's why these recordings always end in static. Because we don't get to decide when it ends. It does. Or rather, she does. The thing in the video. The presence that watches back. Julia didn't make it. I know that. Even without a body. Even without proof. She disappeared because she hesitated. And me? I hesitated too. But I found another way. A way to delay it. To push fate a little further down the line. And that's why you're hearing this now. Yes, you. Because for it to stay alive, someone has to listen. Someone has to remember. Someone has to carry it. At this point, the recording distorts. The voice drops in pitch. The sound stretches as if falling into a deep hole of echo and static. Until finally, a whisper, barely audible. 7 days left. If you've listened this far, if you've reached the end of this recording, then it's already too late. I tried to warn you. I tried to keep it locked away, buried deep in my mind. But the sound never stops. And the video, it keeps moving. Searching. Did you know there are hidden videos on YouTube? Files that don't show up in searches. That have no fixed URL. That only reveal themselves to those meant to see them? Maybe that's what brought you here. A morbid curiosity. A lonely search. A hunger to feel something real. And now you have, haven't you? You noticed the whispers when you put on your headphones. Felt that chill run down your spine when I said 3:33 a.m. Maybe you glanced around. Maybe you already saw something. In the corner of your screen. In the reflection on your window. You're feeling it now, aren't you? That presence. That heavy silence. Like something is watching you while you listen. Because it is. She's there. With you. And I'm not talking about the video anymore. I'm talking about what came after. What was born from fear. From sharing. From the echo. What you felt so far. That was just the invitation. The call. And you accepted. Now the cycle begins again. Maybe you think you can resist. Maybe you still believe this is just a story. But tell me, why are you still here? Why didn't you stop when I asked? Why did you listen all the way to the end? You know why? Because some part of you wanted to see. Some part of you needed to feel this. And that part of you is all it ever needed to get in. Maybe you have 7 days. Maybe less. It always starts the same way. With sounds, then reflections. Then time begins to slip. And soon you'll start dreaming about her. And once you dream, it's already too late. If you want to get rid of it, there's only one way. You have to tell. Record. Spread it. Make someone else listen. All the way to the end. Because now, you're carrying it. And if you're still here, if you made it all the way to the last second, write in the comments, I heard the whispers. That way I'll know you're trying to escape. But be careful. Not everyone comes back to reply.